is saying that the replacement for hell is a Christian and a Jew, and no matter how many sins you have, you can be a mountain of sins that I'm going to get replaced for you. Then another verse says, but that's what the hadith says, Habibi.
No, that's not true.
Because come on, man, come on.
Look at the first portion. Look at the first portion of the hadith. It says that God will forgive them of their sins, and then the following will take place.
Hold on. It says there would come
God
people, but it's talking about you, not me. You.
God soldier. Can you bring up it's Sahih Muslim 2767? Go from A, then through C, and then through D. It's the same narration, but they vary, and you get a little bit more because, I think respectfully, Harun.
Yeah, and when you're done with that, I just wanted to quickly challenge Harun on the concept of free will in Islam, right? He was saying that Allah creates an abode for people of in paradise and Jahannam respectively, right? And it's up to the person to perform the deeds, right? I'm going to refute him on that based on this hadith, Musnad Ahmed 311 graded Sahih. I've highlighted the relevant part, right? The Messenger of Allah said, when Allah creates a person for paradise, He causes him, I'm going to repeat that, He causes him to do the deeds of the people of paradise until he dies, doing one of the deeds of the people of paradise, and is admitted to paradise thereby. And when He creates a person for hell, He causes him. So Allah's causing people to do the deeds of hell, of the people of hell, until he dies doing the deeds of the people of hell and is admitted to hell thereby. Now, I'm going to go to another hadith in Sahih Muslim, right? So Aisha, the mother of the believers, reported that a child died, and I said, so Aisha's narrating, right? Sahih Muslim 2662b. So Aisha turns to the Prophet and says, there is happiness for this child who is a bird amongst the birds of paradise, right? So it was a small child. Basically, what Aisha's saying here is this child was so young, right, that it hadn't reached the age of reason. It hadn't reached the years of accountability, right, that it should be sent to hell. So he's pretty much guaranteed paradise. The Prophet turned around and said, don't you know that Allah created the paradise, and He created for hell, and He created the dwellers of this paradise. This is not the right hadith, right? Sorry, this is not the right hadith. Let me bring it up. One sec. Sorry, guys.
I know which hadith you're referring to.
I know which hadith you're referring to, but again, the problem
so the hadith is the hadith goes like this. I can find it if you want, but it's pretty much.
I know what you're referring to.
They had a funeral procession. It was a small boy from memory, and Aisha said, "Look, he's so young, didn't he reach the age of reason? So he's pretty much going to paradise, Prophet, right?" And the Prophet turned around and said, "It could be otherwise, because Allah creates for people of heaven and hell respectively, whilst they are in their father's loins." Right. So the way I read this hadith is that Allah is creating people to be sent to heaven and hell respectively. And this is consistent with what we've just read here in the Musnad Ahmed that I highlighted, that Allah causes people to do the deeds of the people of hell and paradise. And there's some Quran verses where Allah guides and misguides who He will. So respectively, I think the concept of free will in Islam is non-existent.
So what do you believe that Muslims believe when it comes to free will?
To be honest, it's virtually non-existent.
When you say non-existent, you believe that we Muslims believe that
there is no free will. Those who have been guided,
we're just either compelled to heaven or compelled to the hellfire, right?
Well, based on the literature, you're either guided or misguided, irrespective.
And that's already preordained for you. It's not something that you can choose. It's preordained. You're either guided or you're simply misguided, and that was preordained.
Let me give you guys an example.
But the thing is, you got to ask yourself, like Muslims call Allah most merciful, right? So if I call something most merciful, nothing can be more merciful than most merciful, right? So then you got to ask yourself, is it really merciful to cause someone to
we're going to come to that point. So you're mentioning a few points. Keep that in mind. I'll come back to it. But the first point that you're making, I'll give you an example to better understand the concept of free will and our actions and all of that. If I were to ask you guys, who is the one that provides for us? What would your reply be? Who ultimately provides for us?
Well, I don't know where this is going, but if you want me to answer,
So the question, repeat the question. Who's ultimately provides?
Who's the one that provides us with what we are in need of, sustenance? Who's the one that gives us
ultimately
God.
God. True. Okay, but does that mean that God has not asked us to take care of ourselves, to make effort, to go out there and become breadwinners for our families, or not?
We're compelled to
Christianity,
and things like that.
In Christianity,
no, hold on.
In Christianity, can I just finish your point, please? In Christianity, is it allowed for a person to sit back on his backside and do nothing? And then when people say, like, you got to go make an effort, you're going to die like this, you're going to starve, you're going to. He says, no, God is ultimate. Can I just finish my point, please?
Wait, I just need to ask this question so I can move forward.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to I'm just explaining the concept. So it would be very foolish on a person's part if they were to just completely sit back and do nothing and say, no, God is able, God is strong, God is the creator, He's the sustainer. And if He wills, He'll bring food to me and He'll bring sustenance to me. We would say you're a fool because God has a system in place. Similarly, the same concept applies when it comes to guidance and misguidance. It comes to guidance and misguidance. Yes, ultimately, God, Allah is the Hadi. He's the one that guides and He is the one that misguides. But you can't deny that you have a role to play also. This is why God sent down revelation. God sent messengers. God gives us reminders in our lives. God gives us tribulations to wake us up out of our.
We hear you.
Hold on. Wait.
So this
hold
is
on,
the
hold on.
So this is what
Just wait.
Islam
No,
teaches.
we're going.
Very-
Maybe wait.
It'll be very
My
foolish
question
on
for
a
you.
part of a person
Allah,
to sort of nitpick a certain
Hold
text
on, hold on,
from
hold on.
Islam and then say,
According to
look,
your
see what
faith,
they're saying.
wait, brother.
You understand that? You understand the concept?
We get it. According to your faith, this is your faith, not mine. According to your faith, Allah's decree, Allah's will, right? Can you alter that will at any point in your life?
Of course not.
Perfect. Those two hadiths that my brother just brought up, what did it say?
What did he say?
It said that he has already guided someone and already misguided somebody. So if I've been misguided, I'm already going to hell.
Yeah, but see,
Without me
again,
trying to change the outcome.
understand in the same manner that I explained to you. See, if I were to ask,
Okay, so what sounds more plausible?
has God? If I ask you,
Let me speak here. So what sounds more like God? The one where God says, listen, I'm going to give you the opportunity to pick what you want to do. Either you're going to hell or you're going to heaven. You're going to pick one.
that's exactly what the Quran says. فَمَنْ شَاءَ
Here's the problem,
فَلْيُؤْمِنْ
the hadith
وَمَنْ
doesn't.
شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Whoever
That
wills
is
can believe, and whoever wills can disbelieve.
Perfect. But it says
لا
in those two
إكراه في
hadiths,
الدين.
wait a
There is no
second.
compulsion in religion.
It says in the hadith that my brother just brought up.
Yeah, but you're not understanding in a holistic manner. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay, the holistic matter is different to what your prophet is saying. Allah says in the Quran, He guides who He guides, and He misguides who He misguides.
So if I present to you now evidences from Prophet Muhammad stating that a person has to seek guidance, what would you say?
Guess what? It's a contradiction to what He says in this.
No, it's not a contradiction. It's a holistic understanding. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Does anyone understand where I'm going with this?
Let me give you an example. You know how you said that, I agree to it, that ultimately the will of Allah trumps every other will. The power of Allah trumps every other power. True? So it didn't already, before God created you, didn't He have prior knowledge of
He has
how much sustenance He was going to
You're
give
getting
to
that
you?
part wrong. No. When you say knowledge, wait a second. When you say knowledge,
Wait, I'm going to complete. So He had prior knowledge of what He was going to give you of sustenance, and also He decreed for you how much sustenance you were going to receive. True or not?
Here's the problem, bro. You're saying it's giving me sustenance, but it doesn't say this. It's saying that He's already predetermined what's going to happen to you. He already knows.
Just like He predetermined how much sustenance you were going to receive in the world.
But you're not listening, cuz. You're misrepresenting what we're trying to say to you. It is saying that
I'm not misrepresenting anything. I'm explaining what Islam says about it, because you guys are not
Prophet is not
Muslims.
saying this.
So
Your
you're sort of
prophet
like
is
you're trying to find
your
weak points
prophet
within
is
Islam.
saying
I'm trying
that
to explain
already
to
you are
that's what he preaches.
predetermined to go to hell, or you're predetermined to go to heaven within your father's loins. Before you're even born.
It's pretty explicit.
Yeah, look, again, if you understand it in a holistic manner, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but how is it making perfect sense if you're saying if God has made you chosen your choices for you such that you will end up
No,
in hell?
God has created you in an ability where you make your own choices. God already knows the choices that you're going to make. And based on that,
do you have that hadith? Sorry if you can bring it back up, bro. If I can trouble you, donut.
Donut. No, it's not there.
let me, if you can give me the big screen, I'll put some verses of the Quran, some ahadith also regarding this. It'll clarify for you.
Hold on, give us a second.
If you're willing to.
Am I missing something here? So if Allah predetermines or predestines something for you, when you're born,
calm down. Hanafi had a
oh man, like okay, come on,
we'll deal with Hanafi later. Go ahead.
So if I'm missing this, let me know. If I am a Muslim If I'm a Muslim,
You brought a basic contingency argument, Hanafi. You got folded. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, bro.
oh, come on, bro.
Sorry, bro.
If I am a Muslim and then I come into this world, Allah has already predestined me to either go to heaven or hell. Whether I do good deeds, bad deeds, it no longer matters.
Not true. That's not true, man.
That's
See
what
again.
how my days. That's what the hadith says, bro. My brother just showed
Again, you're falling into the mistake of cherry picking. You're cherry picking one
this is
text
where
and
I
you're
wanna get
basing
back to
on
cherry
a
picking.
whole belief.
So here's my question: do you cherry pick what the Torah and the Injil say? That's good for your faith.
Regarding what? Tell me about what matter.
I will show you. Watch this. Abraham. Hold on. Let me talk, cuz Abraham believed in one God. But
Are you from Lebanon?
no, I'm not.
Then you can't call me cuz. Only Lebanese, you have to be Lebanese to be called cuz.
I'm a Syrian, bro. I call everyone cuz. What are you talking about?
خلاص he's a Syrian. We've got to let it go.
I'm joking.
There we go. All right, listen. According to the Torah in Genesis 18, verses 1, 21, 22, 23, Genesis 19, 1, and 24, it says that the Lord Yahweh, which you believe is the same God of the Torah, that he appeared to Moses. Sorry, not Moses. Sorry, my mistake. He appeared to Abraham, but when Abraham popped his head up and he looked, 3 men were in front of him. Believe that?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
Can
How do you
God
answer that to
appear
me?
as man? Can God appear as flesh?
No.
Tell us. That's what the Torah says. Can you pick that? You believe in the same God of the Torah, right? You say that. I don't say that. You believe you have the
I don't
same
say
God.
that. I
of the
didn't
Torah.
say that.
But
I
that's what
believe
Muslims believe.
I believe that the Torah
is
and
Allah
the
the same
Injil-
God as the Torah?
the Torah and the Injil are not preserved, so they've
That's
been
the word I was looking for.
tampered with.
Salators. Cherry picking at its finest, Essa. There it is.
Why'd you
There.
drop him?
Why did you drop him?
him for a
Kept
reason.
him. Should have kept him.
I didn't keep. I'll tell you why I didn't keep him. Because this is where I stopped the line. When they say that it's not preserved.